You're listening to a main feed episode. Go to patreon.com/Celtic Ligers where €5 a month gets you weekly full-length episodes, stray bonus content and access to the back catalogue. Also helps cover hosting and gives us money for sweeties. Thank you. Celtic Ligers.
Recorded 20th of November 2025.
Welcome to the chill out zone.
This is the chill out zone, next to the bone zone.
Hope you're wearing your mask.
It's post bone zone. You come to the chill out zone. This is the refractory period zone.
That should have been the name of the podcast.
Wait, we were talking about the monk, and James said that he's not racist.
Here's my thing with the monk. It's like everyone puts a lot on him.
Yeah.
You know? They're like, he's racist and he deals drugs. They're the two things he always goes for. And it's mad the way people don't go. Like, it was me criticizing the monk, which I never do. I go, he's a murderer and he robs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But instead, people make up the other things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I
don't know anything about it, but like, I have this kind of like shield up where it's like anything that's on the red tops or that Paul Reynolds talks about. Paul Reynolds is the crime correspondent at RTE. I think that I just tend to ignore and just think of as that's their thing. Do you know what I mean? That's cops and robbers. That's them going off and doing their shit. So I don't really think about it all that often. So he still in my head has a very meme-like quality, especially because, so by the way, we're talking about Gerry the Monk Hutch, who is a famous gangster in Dublin, for those of you who don't know or might be from abroad. And, but he's like, to me, and maybe this is just good marketing, he comes across as like a movie gangster, where he's like, oh, he's the gangster with the heart of gold, you know?
But that is he is the movie gangster. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
But the movie gangster is also like the gangster that kills people, but you still like him for some reason. He's very Dublin. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's also very Dublin.
Yeah. I think he's like Seán Keyes, but if Seán Keyes was admirable.
Yeah.
In any way. You know what I mean?
Or he had some sort of saving graces, some endearing qualities.
You know the way Seán Keyes is like, I came up from nothing and now I'm a billionaire and blah, blah, blah. And then I lost it. Whereas like, it's all bullshit. Whereas the monk literally came up from nothing. You know? And then...
Look what he's done now.
He did some of the like most audacious bank robberies and heists in the history of the state. And then he lost a gang war.
Yeah.
You know, like when you lose a gang war, it's not like, oh, I'm bankrupt and I can't own a company for 10 years. It's like, have your family or dead. You know what I mean?
I was watching Justified, which is great. I would highly recommend everybody watch it. But one of the bits that Walton Goggins' character Boyd Crowder says to some rich guy, he's like, "You may be a criminal, but you ain't no outlaw." You know, like, yeah, man. That's Gerry the Hutch, the monk.
All right, let's talk about Gerry, a legend, a sight. A real-life drama, immediate delight. From Dublin streets to a doll seat, he's without doubt a fearless sight, and he now stands for what's right. With a smirk and a swagger, he's always in style. A media sensation, a captivating guile. From public appearances to the courthouse, he is famous. They have tried to make him the most dangerous, but the jury didn't believe it. They said the evidence is most likely made up and tailor-made. The narrative we are familiar, they were calling us all bigots. It's accusations coming from the real criminals. Gerry, a man of the people, a gentleman, the rogue, he's the first choice to put on paper. Gerry the Monk, a name to adore, a charismatic figure forevermore. With every appearance, a new surprise, he keeps us guessing with his knowing eyes.
But yeah, the reason it came up is because previously he ran in a general election in 2024 in Paschal Donohoe's constituent. Paschal Donohoe, by the way, can we just say, has one of the most annoying names of any politician, where it's Paschal but with a H in it, and then it's not O'Donoghue, it's Donohoe, and it doesn't have a G. Okay?
Yeah.
So the amount of misspellings that invites is so frustrating.
Still, I think it's going to be, he's a steady hand at the economy for the past 10 years. I wish him well working in the World Bank.
Yeah.
I think he's going to do a really good job lending high interest loans to impoverished
or whatever they do there.
Countries.
He's Paschal Donohoe, the Minister for Finance, cyberprick, famously has an action figure collection which seems to have been completely affected by some sort of PR company.
He's a knockoff. What do they call them? Bebop heads. What are they called?
What are they called?
Bebop heads.
You know the Funko Pops?
Funko Pops.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about Paschal Donohoe. I think the general perception of him is that he's a steady hand and a shrewd economic mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
He studied. He did economics and politics as an undergraduate.
Yeah.
Then he went to work in marketing with Procter & Gamble for 10 years.
Really?
And then he went into politics. And he was like all the random ministries. I think he was Minister for Agriculture.
Was he?
And then he did an interview. He was sent out to defend the government budget. Right?
Right.
And it was sort of this thing of like he fell on a sword because the budget had hardly... He was like sent on the radio like before the budget was even finalised.
Mm-hmm.
So he didn't know what he was defending.
Yeah.
And he just like had this train wreck of an interview. And then Fine Gael were like, okay, I guess he's the economy guy now because he did that interview. And then somehow that's been twisted into him being like an economic genius.
Yeah. Well, he's very boring. So like basically in just for the narrative of it, in 2024, Gerry the Monk Hutch nearly made it, nearly got a seat, came very cllose, and now Paschal Donohoe,
a 4-seater.
Yeah. So he is I'm trying to think if there's some gangster thing where like he chopped somebody up and put them in a 4-seater or something like that. I don't know. I don't think he did. I don't know whether he did that. I mean, you said at the time, Bertie Ahern said, well, the monk's been around as long as I have. And so he's kind of that, again, that wholesome. So anyway, Paschal Donohoe now this week, our Minister for Finance for at least, 10 years, I'd say? Something like that?
Oh, so my point was that the monk has killed people. So like, if you want to criticize him on anything, you can... That's the one to get him on.
Yeah.
There's always that good picture of him, but it's him and Tony Gregory.
Yeah.
And the other fella, the blind guy with the mad posters. You know him?
Yeah, what's his name? Christie something. Christie, no? He's so funny. Those posters are so funny.
There was one year everyone sort of discovered these posters. And it was all over Twitter, and his granddaughter had to come out and be like, he's blind and he's a really good guy, so stop making fun of him.
Yeah, I'm going to look him up, but like, basically there's a picture of like, is it the 5 lamps? Or is it like just a Dublin kind of, like a nice looking Dublin street light, do you know?
Yeah.
It's a 5 lamps. And he's standing there and he's like front and center. And the flash is like right in his face. So every part of his face is really bright. And he's wearing his glasses. So I think you can even see a slight bit of like the bulb of the flash on it as well. And then his eyes are like squinted, but also he's got his teeth gritted and he's ancient. So it looks like...
pained.
Yeah. So he basically, it looks like he is trying to figure out how to use his phone and then accidentally took a picture of himself. And then they put that on the poster. And not only did they put it on the poster, because, like, they put it on, like, okay, that election's over. And then the next election would happen. He's like, okay, here's the same poster again.
Yeah.
That was always the thing that I heard. Like, you're supposed to do it. It was a thing where I was like, geez, I guess you don't have to have a different poster each time. Is it John Christie? Does that make sense to you?
No, but it's something like that, all right.
But anyway, no, I just meant that, like, the reason we're talking about all of these things is because Paschal Donohoe has stepped down as Minister of Finance, leaving Fine Gael, going to join the World Bank, and now it's like maybe Gerry the Monk Hutch could get his seat. And I think that would be a fitting tribute to Paschal Donohoe's legacy. But I also, to talk about the character of Paschal Donohoe as you were, he is a very, very sinister figure who just kind of is like a very evil Forrest Gump who is just on the kind of periphery of all of the worst things that have happened in Ireland in my lifetime, you know, in the past 10 years at least. And he manages to get away without anybody saying anything about him. Like, it's always this really kind of scary thing. Like, the one that kind of epitomizes it is where during COVID they were going to put like a tax on like babies' shoes or something like that.
Yeah.
And then RTE were like, isn't this very similar to something that your a previous Fine Gael government did that was very unpopular, which was like during the Garrett Fitzgerald years. And he was very annoyed by it. And then after the interview they were like, sorry Paschal Donohoe. Like, RTE apologized to him. Okay. And there's so many examples. I think we've talked about him a few times on this podcast. Yeah.
You know what? It was during the lockdown. I think their thing was like buying children's clothes isn't essential.
Yeah.
And then it was compared to when they tried to introduce tax on children's shoes.
Yeah. Now,
and
you could argue that it is an unfair comparison, but then she had Martin, like, I was watching a clip there the other day of Martin McGuinness being interviewed by Miriam O'Callaghan during the presidential run for 2011. And she was going, and you murdered people. You know what I mean? It was like, on RTE, they do that all the fucking time. They, like, if it was somebody who's like their ideological opponent, or somebody like Paul Murphy, where it's like, you can say whatever the fuck you want about him, and it will not warrant an apology from the national broadcaster, because who the fuck are you? But, like, you know, Paschal is just... and then Paschal, like, the other thing I've seen about him since he stepped down is Sharon Ní Bheoláin, and other people have said this. This is kind of the mainstream media people. They go, he was known for his investment in in infrastructure. He was known for how much he invested into infrastructure, and you're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
They've tried to retcon him as being a very generous.
He's famously not generous.
I think in their mind he's like, you know, stern but generous. You know?
Just what you said there.
He's not.
I know, but what you said there, the most bizarre thing, John McGurk and other, like, right-wing headbangers, they are saying the same thing. They're like, oh, sad to see him go because he's a good politician. The right wing, like the far right wing, they like Paschal Donohoe. If there's ever anybody who was the author of our pain, okay? Like, you know that these people, they go like, everything is like all these broken down vacant buildings, we don't even have a hotel in this whole fucking town, and, you know, they're just giving out about all this stuff and all the migrants coming in, and then they go, oh, Paschal, you'd be sad to see the back of him now, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You're like, not fucking, no.
I think he is like the embodiment of the like evil bureaucrat, you know?
Yeah.
Like the mechanization of cruelty.
Yeah.
If you get me. There was one more thing I was going to say.
Sorry.
I think it's one of his big master strokes. My mic sounds very bad. Worse than usual. He never went for leader.
Yeah.
I think that did a lot of favors. You know what I mean?
Well, he said, "Oh, I never had any desire to be Taoiseach." I was like, "Yeah, I know, because you just got everything you always wanted, and nobody ever yelled at you, and you only had to appear. Like we said this already about the budget. You only have to appear in front of people once a year. Okay, the rest of the time he has been writing like book reviews for RTE. Okay, he'll like read a book and then he'll like write like he'll do a little review of it. And remember one from years ago where I'm just gonna wait. Is there a second one? Once years ago when he reviewed Trump's book and he was like, oh, it's terrifying, like if the amount of like authority or kind of like he was talking about Trump as in he's a singular scary figure because of how much he tries to control and manipulate, and all the people behind the scenes who are, I'm gonna have to look it up, I'm getting it wrong probably just to boost my own point, but I find it funny, like the same with that clip that you sent me of Radker, where he's like, Trump is actually like really good crack, and he goes, now I wouldn't agree with him politically. What do you not agree with him on? Why, like, what?
Yeah.
What do you not agree with Trump on?
I thought that was such an incredible timing as well from Radker, because like this month has been the month where everybody is suddenly like, Trump isn't good crack. Yeah. Trump's a pedophile or you're gay. You know what I mean? Like, this has been the month where people are turning on Trump. Yeah. And then Varadkar comes out and is like, I like him. Yeah, Varadkar is very good at I mean, like, not really. I mean, but sometimes he has this instinct about him that's contrarian. He really loves to have that sort of, but in the most tepid Fine Gael way possible, where he's just going like, oh yeah, Trump's all right. I mean, I don't like him, but he's all right. And it's like, but everybody hates Trump. I was like, I know, that's why I'm a little bit different. I was like, yeah, but you're not like, do you know what I mean? You're not doing anything interesting. You're just doing something annoying, do you know? Yeah. But he, there's Paschal's greatest hits probably when he went to the same thing I'm going to talk about again and again, forever and ever, when Catherine Zappone tried to get that special envoy position, and she organized a party that broke COVID guidelines, and then Varadkar was at it, and Eamon Ryan was at it, and everybody was like, oh my god, what a big screaming deal. And then it turns out Paschal was at it, and it's like, okay, never mind, and they stopped talking about it. Yeah. And then the other one is where like Paschal Donohoe spoke to his Israeli counterpart to reassure them that they would use the money message to prevent the Occupied Territories Bill from being passed. And the only person to ever ask him about it was Richard Chambers. And then Paschal Donohoe just said, yeah, that guy was lying. Yeah. And then Paschal, what is the other thing he did with... there was one thing very funny. Oh yeah, like, I mean, it wasn't like there's more greatest hits. These are the ones that come into mind. But like the other one was where recently when Claire Byrne was leaving to go to News Talk, and he gave her like a present. I was caught on camera. I don't think that was the biggest deal. Well, it wasn't a hit. I know. I'm sorry. I made that a bigger deal than it was. But I do think it's indicative of just like the media, they apologize to him when they ask him a question. They don't ask him questions he doesn't want to answer. They give him like real estate to write about books in wherever. And then he's only called upon once a year, and he treats them like absolute shit. You know, as in like, whatever, this is the budget we're doing. And the budgets are always like, basically, ebb and flow austerity, tight-fisted, okay? That's the thing that always signifies his budget, is in like, you know, the slow erosion of all these services that people rely upon, okay? But then every now and again, he'll be like, but you guys over there in particular, you get an extra $5 a week. And that's not nothing. Yeah. That's not nothing. He is the vibe of I know you went to a all-together school. For the last class of the year, did you have a party? Yeah, oftentimes it was a lot more relaxed. It wouldn't, like, we had Halloween parties, you know, where people would be like, you go around dressed in costume and there'd be sweets and you'd just be playing in the classroom, you know? And then did you ever have a teacher who'd like, you know, for the last week, it was always like, if you go to be a party on Friday. Right, yeah. And then you'd always have one teacher who was like, really building it up, and then the party would be for like half an hour at the end. Right, yeah. Paschal Donohoe's like that, where he's like, when he gives out the extra $5, you can tell he's like, thinks he's been really benevolent.
Yeah. He really doesn't want to do it. He really does not want to do it.
He like really expects you to thank him very
and
thoroughly.
then when they phone up and they go, I'm an old woman and I'm going to freeze to death in my house because the cost of living, he's like, well, there are supports. Sorry to hear that, but I don't know what you want me to do about it. I'm on the goodness of my heart. I'm on the fucking radio for you to yell at me.
You know, I love, they're beautiful words, and they're beautiful words around the political table. But for us who are here at the coalface, can you just speak in normal language and tell me what I need to hear?
Well, what I'm offering is words that are honestly and genuinely offered. That by the way we are trying to run up...
Words, Minister. I can't live on words.
But what we are trying to do is accompany that by changes, budget by budget, that are permanent.
And the other thing about it is, like, if you look at his career trajectory, so you were right, the ministries he had, Minister of State for European Affairs 2013 to 2014, Minister for Transport, Tourism and Sport 2014 to 2016, Minister for Public Expenditure and Reform 2016 to 2020, then Finance from 2017 to 2022. But basically, I know Jack Chambers was in there in the middle. He wasn't really. It was Paschal's budget again. When Chambers came on, he was being asked questions. He didn't know what the fuck was happening. Paschal was just like, whatever. I'm a man who loves my work. I love austerity. I don't care whether you take credit for it. I just want it to happen. You know how he loves his work so much is that he knew that he was going to be working for the World Bank, and yet he still just got a little austerity budget in there just for the laugh. You know, I just want to be there for that last twist of the knife that I could do. And then he goes on to the World Bank. But what I mean is, he's there, and he gave his last speech, and his last speech was about how make sure to keep funding the libraries. It was like, shut up, you know? It's like, because I'm a book guy, I write book reviews, and like that's what he has to. Like, he writes his last one. I don't know what Catherine Connolly's last speech was in the Dáil, okay? Or like we know what her like inauguration speech was like, but there are people who like believe in politics and public service where he really feels like this is just a promotion to the next part of the job that I have, which is World Banker, you know? Like, I can't be in the World Bank unless I've also been Minister for Finance. So I guess I have to be Minister for Finance. And now I'm here. Yeah. It's like, I finally got the promotion. And he's like, anyway, thanks so much. I'll miss Verona's biscuits she loves her Jaffa cakes in the staff room. But anyway, peace out. Thanks so much. Really appreciate it. The card was lovely. Thank you very much. You know what I mean? Like, who do you think that Paschal Donohoe is going to be speaking to in the Oireachtas now that he's gone? Do you think he's ever going to talk to any of those people ever again? You know?
We've also now have like the craziest double act of all time when it comes to finance.
Mental. Awful.
Jack Chambers, who's also already crazy.
Yeah.
And then Simon Harris is just like, I'll do it.
I'm going to just say that's another thing about the magic aura that seems to surround Paschal Donohoe. As in, they go, okay, who's the Minister for Finance going to be now? Oh, it's going to be Simon Harris. Okay. What? Why don't you ask any questions? The Minister for Finance was already Jack Chambers. Why doesn't Jack Chambers take it over? I don't want him to take it over. I'm just saying, like, why is there no discussion? Why does nobody say, why does it have to be somebody from Fine Gael? Why does it have to be Simon Harris, who everybody fucking hates, okay, who has never, to my knowledge, had the job at all? Apparently, like, the last, I think there's a clip that Gav Riley had where he's like, kind of like, Gav Riley talks about it in terms of like, it's one of the most baffling decisions where they just like got decimated in a presidential election that has now resulted in a by-election that they look set to lose in Galway, okay? And now they've created another by-election, which they also look set to lose, potentially. Like, you know, Sinn Féin could easily get a seat there. Anyway. Sorry.
I think the reason Harris is doing it is because he doesn't want to give anyone else like the step up that might lead them to be a challenger to the leadership.
Yeah, totally.
And like, you know, Paschal Donohoe was winging it.
Yeah.
You know? but maybe he had some slight aptitude for it in his evil way. You know what I mean? Whereas Simon Harris is like he's been in charge of budgets. Like he was in charge of the budget for the children's hospital. And he brought down the government over it because he lied. And it was going to lead to emotional no confidence, and then they just pulled the government. Yeah. Like, he's someone who, like, has been proven can't do the job. Yeah. And he's just like, I'll do it.
Well, I think it's like, with Jack Chambers, like when they installed him, Paschal Donohoe, like whether you think that he is somebody who's very deliberate and intentional of what he does, or whether you think that he is basically an employee of something like the World Bank. I don't know how fucking any of it works. I just know that there are it seems like there are corporate structures in the world, and Paschal is aware that like I said, I have to be Minister for Finance to work for the World Bank. The World Bank has always been his boss, okay? So it's almost like, what I imagine is that the templates for budgets are on the Google Drive. You just log in and you take that down. Then Paschal's like, okay, cool. Can I give mine a bit of flavor? And it's like, very good, Paschal. You gave them a $5. That's very ingenious, or whatever. Like, this is the thing I get where it's like, you get that job for like following orders and enacting austerity in a way that they see fit.
I think what I imagine with Paschal Donohoe is that there's like, there's like a IMF class on how to destroy working class communities. Yeah. And Paschal Donohoe was like sitting up the front and really engaged. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's like, this is good stuff. Yeah. He's like an avid student of it. Yeah. Whereas Simon Harris isn't even that. Like, no. It really is.
What I meant to say is that like the thing has already been set. The template is set. Like, Paschal just points to it. He's like, don't worry, I've already filled the spreadsheet out for the next 7 years. You just, maybe put in a bunch more money for AI year on year or whatever that is, I don't know. Like, what I mean is like, I feel like this thing is on autopilot and it doesn't need much maintenance, at least for not the next 10 years, as far as they're concerned. And that's why they feel comfortable going, Jack Chambers can be Minister for Finance because Paschal's done that stuff. And now Simon Harris can be Minister for Finance because Paschal's done that stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
Nobody's expecting you to reinvent the wheel. You just figure out another person to give a $5 to in a completely humiliating and grueling way, Anyway. So then what was it? Was there something else? Anything else? No, who cares? But so this is a chill episode. I can't believe I dragged it down into talk about politics so early on.
What else? Do you think we'll hear from him again? Do you think he'll still be writing in the paper and stuff?
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't even know that he was writing in the paper as it stands, except that like, I do know. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not like he's got his arms folded on like in a little picture, and then it's like Paschal Donohoe gives his thoughts on, I don't know, fucking the Lovely Bones or whatever. Like he just kind of is I don't know, it's the only book I could think of. But it's like, you know what I mean? Like he's kind of he's very quietly just been working away in the background and doing it. Like his it's his hobby.
Yeah. I feel like we'll get a few articles that's like, here's a question for you. Where is the World Bank?
I think, and I've read where it was a few times now, but I've actually forgotten. I think it is in Brussels.
Yeah, I feel like we're going to get a few articles that's him like eating kebabs and stuff. It's like, right. It won't be like, what are you doing? It'll be like, are you having a good time? Yeah. And he'll go, yes, I love it here.
Did you ever have like a mate who went like on an Erasmus or some sort of thing, okay? And, to me, when it's like, I don't want to be too disparaging, but he's like, we're going to head off on like away, and it's like, I'll head over with some friends and we'll have a good time. We'll go somewhere, we'll do something. And then these guys who are like, yes, I've got to go to, this place, let's say Boston or something, and then it'll be like, here's me eating some chowder. Love it here. And it's just like, every single time you see a photograph, it's just them,
That is exactly what I had in my mind.
Yeah.
It's like them in a museum by themselves, or like at a landmark by themselves. Very obvious that like another tourist took the photo. Yeah. That'll be the vibe.
The worst part is that he loves it. And I'm normally like, my mate can love it and that's fine. But I hate that Paschal Donohoe is there living this life that, to my mind, would be utter hell. Just to be like alone in like one of the nastiest looking places in the world.
Yeah.
Like just these like boring places where it's like you get like Brussels. Do you know what I mean? Well, Brussels is fine probably, but you know what I mean?
No, it's not. My first girlfriend was from Brussels.
Oh.
Was from Brussels.
So what's your opinion on it now then?
It's a very boring place. I think she would even say so.
It'd be like Galway. Like somebody going, hey, here's me in Galway. Wow, I'm in Ayr Square. And you're like, okay,
It'd be like... No, it really is like the IFSC or somewhere.
Yeah.
Like it's very bureaucratic city.
It wasn't actually, I knew that I got it wrong. Well, I didn't know I got it wrong. It just felt like it should be in Brussels.
My housemate's
it's in one. Oh, sure, no worries.
Hello?
Hello?
Eddie?
Hello?
Eddie?
Hey, James. Can you hear me?
Yeah?
What's up, man?
Oh, good.
Are you okay to talk?
I'm on the podcast, and so are you.
Oh. Okay, cool. Sorry for interrupting.
Don't worry.
I just wanted to know if you wanted to go to Richard Dawson or not.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to... I don't. I have a date.
Okay, no worries.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Date with Destiny.
Please
or date
God.
with the podcast.
No, a date with Destiny.
Okay. Well, I will leave you to your podcast and your date, and wish you the best of luck.
Enjoy the gig.
Thank you.
See you, Eddie.
Bye for now. Bye.
That's a guest, special guest. Put that in the featuring Eddie.
Eddie.
Richard Dawson. Who's that?
Yeah. All my housemates were like, told me how excited they were for Richard Dawson. And in my head, they were talking about Richard Dawkins.
Yeah, that's what I thought immediately.
And I was like, they were like, well, are you going to go see him? And I was like, no. Are you? And they were like, yeah, we all have tickets. I was like, what? Why? They're like, he's really good. Okay. I was really confused why they were like, what do you like about him? Apparently there's a musician called Richard Dawson.
I'm looking at him
because
now.
then there was a point where I was like, did you like, is it there's opinions about Muslims you like or something? And they were like, yeah. They thought I was joking. And they were like, yeah, that's why we're going. I was like, right. Okay. What a world, eh?
What a World Bank, which is in Washington, D.C.
Right. Not even...
But I have been to Washington, D.C., and it is one of the most miserable places on the planet. It is designed specifically for Paschal Donohoes of the world.
That's a bit on the nose, isn't it? That's like...
Yeah.
Like if you found out it was in like Tel Aviv. Just be like, right. They're not trying to hide it at all.
Yeah, no, like I was in Washington, D.C., and it is basically just all kind of like glass-fronted buildings, and then people walking between like every restaurant is either like very expensive, like 4 or 5 stars, or whatever how many they have for restaurants, or it's like a Subway, you know, and it's people just picking something up really quickly to head somewhere else. But to Paschal Donohoe, it's like, this is incredible. this is amazing.
Yeah.
I think I said it before, but Felix Biederman had a description for these people. He's like, they travel around from various convention centers to convention center, poisoning themselves with bottled water. And it's just like, that really captures it. And the thing about it that's going to be is like, Paschal is going to love it. And that's the thing that I hate the most.
I'm looking for, so there'll be the picture of Paschal Donohoe in front of the Lincoln Memorial.
Yeah.
That's where, Washington, D.C. is Washington, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
In front of the Lincoln Memorial, and it'll say something like, you know, such a profound statesman. Something boring like that. Be him in the White House, like on the tour. Where else would he go?
Where else did I go? He could go to the Newseum, which is no longer there. He could go to the Holocaust Museum, which is, I think, definitely is still there.
Yeah. Did you see the clip from the... It was like somebody worked in the Obama administration.
Yeah.
And she was like, we made a mistake when it came to Holocaust education.
I saw that. That is wild. Yeah, that was a fucking...
I think that since October 7th, but really before then, there have been huge shifts in America on how people think about Jews and Israel. And I think that is especially true of young people. So we are now wrestling with a new, I think, generational divide here. And I think that's particularly true in that social media is now our source of media. And this, you know, it used to be that the media you got in America was American media, and it was pretty mainstream. You know, it generally didn't express extreme anti-Israel views. You had to go to a pretty weird bookstore to find global media and fringe media. But today, we have social media, which is a global medium. Right? It is shaped, its algorithms are shaped by billions of people worldwide who don't really love Jews. And so while in the 1990s, you know, a young person probably wasn't going to find Al Jazeera or someone like Nick Fuentes, today those media outlets find them. They find them on their phones. It's also this increasingly post-literate media, less and less text, more and more videos. So you have TikTok just smashing our young people's brains all day long with video of carnage in Gaza. And this is why so many of us can't have a sane conversation with younger Jews, because anything that we try to say to them, they are hearing it through this wall of carnage. So I want to give data and information and facts and arguments, and they are just seeing in their minds carnage, and I sound obscene. And, you know, I think, unfortunately, the very smart, I think, bet that we made on Holocaust education to serve as anti-Semitism education, in this new media environment, I think that is beginning to break down a little bit. Because, you know, Holocaust education is absolutely essential. But I think it may be confusing some of our young people about anti-Semitism because they learn about big, strong Nazis hurting weak, emaciated Jews. And they think, oh, anti-Semitism is like anti-black racism, right? Powerful white people against powerless black people. So when on TikTok all day long they see powerful Israelis hurting weak, skinny Palestinians, it's not surprising that they think, oh, I know, the lesson of the Holocaust is you fight Israel. You fight the big, powerful people hurting the weak people.
That is like really saying the quiet part loud. She was like,
yeah,
you know, because there are all these kids and they're looking at like the lesson they took from the Holocaust education was that like the strong oppressor of the weak is bad. So they look at Palestine and Israel and they're like, side with the Palestinians because they're weak and the Israelis are strong, and like,
yeah,
that's not right. That's not the right message to take.
They've all been
like that is literally like if you were like, we took the wrong lesson from the Grinch. You stole Christmas.
Yeah.
It's like, the lesson is you're supposed to like the Grinch.
Yeah. Yeah, the lesson of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is greed is good.
Yeah.
They, like, I have seen, there's another one that was, I kind of reached, I'm numb to this at this point, seeing these people see the same stuff that I'm seeing and then just have like, oh, this is really bad for Israel. How do we prevent people from seeing it? Like when you think about TikTok and how they like successfully like, defanged. The TikTok didn't even defanged. It was just they suppressed all of that information there on TikTok. But the one that Van Jones, do you know him?
No.
Van Jones is like a commentator on CNN. He's like this black guy, which means obviously he can kind of like stand. It's like whenever they have what's happening in England at the moment, where it'll be like I don't know if you saw Shabana Mahmood, the immigration. What's the ministry? What's her ministry?
I don't know.
Shh.
Minister of
whatever. So basically, Shabana Mahmood is now I'm going to look it up. Get it right. Get it fucking right. Secretary of State for the Home Department. The Home Secretary. Okay?
Right.
So she basically they're introducing very stringent immigration laws over there. We should talk about this later on because the Irish commentariat response has been maddening. But anyway, one of the things that they're doing is like, we're going to take jewelry off of people to pay for their time here. And so people were there going, that is horrible. Like, so there's like even Labour MPs are like going like, what am I a Labour MP for? Like, why are we doing this? You know?
Yeah.
But anyway, one member of the opposition, I think it was the Green Party or something like that. But anyway, Shabana Mahmood just goes like, you don't understand it. Because I've actually experienced racism. Okay? She goes like, I've been called a fucking okay? Which I probably shouldn't have said. Maybe I'll bleep that last part. But she's like, you haven't experienced racism, so you can't possibly tell me my business, is basically what she's saying, okay?
Yeah.
And that's in response to, I don't think that we should treat like immigrants like cattle and take all of their jewelry off of them. Do you know?
Yeah.
So anyway, Van Jones is like that. He is like he's this black guy who they bring on to be like, don't worry, you're doing fine, Democratic Party, do you know? And so he's like he's a big Zionist as well. And he was on Bill Maher. And I could even play the clip, but basically he just goes like, he's talking about how it's an optics war and how people are like scrolling on their phones, okay? And how let me get it up for you because it's the same thing as this lady, but like it's just that was the part where I kind of like checked out on all of these guys.
Is Van Jones the guy? Yeah, he is. Have you ever seen Norman Finkelstein's tweets at him?
Are they like really racist? I'd imagine. Like,
they're like so crazy.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can get one. Like they're just racist in a way it's just hard to understand.
Yeah.
The only one I can find is it's not racist, it's just weird. The question for the whole world the question that the whole world is asking: when Van Jones fucks his mistress, does he wear the yellow ribbon?
Yeah. Stuff like he is so peculiar. I don't know what he is so odd. He is such an odd man.
Yeah, he really is. Let's see if I can find some other ones.
I'll show you this now. Share your dictionary.
But isn't part of that because we had to fold everything into critical race theory, and somehow the Middle East became part of,
I see it differently, and I love this conversation because I think people, those of us who went to college, give a lot more credit to college courses for how the world works than I do. This is not about critical race theory on college campuses. This is about Iran. Iran and Qatar have come up with a disinformation campaign that they are running through TikTok and Instagram that is massive. If you are a young person, you open up your phone and all you see is dead Gaza baby, dead Gaza baby, dead Gaza baby, right. Diddy, dead Gaza baby, dead Gaza baby. Like, that's basically the whole feed. So that's not DEI. That is a geopolitical adversary that is deliberately trying to divide the West against itself.
That view is not.
Clamming for that is so.
I know.
Ghoulish.
Yeah, I mean that's where it broke me. Do you know, that's where I'm just like, these guys can't be reached. They're just like, look at that stuff and like they laugh. They actually find it funny. They actually don't. They don't think anything about it. Do you know.
Here's what Norman Finkelstein said about that exact clip.
Okay.
He said, "Why is Van Jones wearing a pimp's blazer when he's so obviously a high-priced call girl?"
Why does he do, like, I hate that kind of racially tinged shit. Like, I don't think that there is race hate in Norman Finkelstein's heart, but he has talked about, like, DEI stuff and kind of gone, like, you know, about how, like, woke is ruining college campuses, that sort of shit.
Here are two more.
Ugh.
Newsflash. Barry Weiss hires Van Jones to head up CBS Schwartz department.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah. I think that's I don't quite know what it means, but I think it's...
Well, it obviously means black in like German, and then I think kind of it's a Yiddish sort of twang off of it. And so
yeah.
I remember that in Mouse, that was like a racial slur that his dad used when a black guy got in the car. So,
right.
Yeah.
Not complimentary.
No, it's meant to be, he's kind of trying to say he's the house N-word, you know?
Well, he gets more to the point here. Breaking story. In her first X post since becoming head of CBS News, Barry Weiss launched his campaign to defend Van Jones. Uncle Tom Lives Matter.
Oh, Norman.
Brutal.
Norman. What's that one? We've said it before, I remember because I had to look it up, but you know the one that he said about Alan Dershowitz with the LA Rams and his wife?
No. Oh, yeah, there's the one where he was at dinner and he sees Dershowitz.
I love that clip, but no, it's a bit where Alan Dershowitz basically, I think this was the thing that spawned the drill post. Alan, this is your lawyer. Please keep posting or something like that. Because Alan Dershowitz went, he's like, there's no video evidence of me on the island. There's no video. He's basically like saying, please, if you have pictures of me with children, you know, send them in, you know. And so like Finkelstein had something about like, you know, footage of the LA Rams like having sex with his, I can't remember what it was. I'm gonna have to look it up.
Wife and daughter.
Was it really? I really didn't want to say that. Zainab has confirmed it is wife and daughter. Let me look it up for the millionth time. But yeah, I challenged Netflix to explain why they didn't play the tape recording that confirms my wife and daughter were gangbanged by Jeffrey Epstein and the LA Rams. So I think he was doing that to make fun of Dershowitz, but it's like one of those things again with the, you know, the two bad
just
neighbors.
Too rough, like, yeah. And I
don't
like
understand.
that he dictates these.
Apparently, yeah, he does. He doesn't actually do his Twitter himself. He has somebody else do it.
Like it
Some
does feel
intern
like
writing.
It does feel like at some point he's going to realize that these are actually being posted. You know what I mean? You can imagine he's like writing this intern. He's like, "Do you know what I should say?" You know, like, "Here's a tweet for you."
I just
in like
imagine
a year's time, it's like, "You were posting this."
Yeah,
I was just saying that.
Alan Dershowitz and the LA Rams. Now post that. Post it. I don't see you. I don't really post it. Why do I pay you for? You know. we were talking about Epstein, so I didn't realize that. I'm hearing all this stuff about Epstein. I try not to think about it because the Americans picked that bone clean and they know way more about it than I ever will or care to know. But I always kind of took that there was this thing around Epstein, which is that we'll never know all the stuff that really happened, you know?
Yeah.
And then all these files come out and then you're kind of go, maybe we will know, you know what I mean? Like, is it all these like messages and you're like, there was something about him that was sort of enigmatic, you know, or sort of like he's like Paschal Donohoe in America, where he like glides through life and gets sweetheart deals and nobody seems to pay him any attention. But then like, so you presume that it's like evil and clandestine, but I mean the banality of evil, I mean, it's never been more true in this case, where they're just going like, Trump he's uncouth. Like Jeffrey Epstein giving out about how Trump makes his money doing like bad deals with the Saudis.
I did find it funny. I saw a tweet that was like, it was like, guy whose only crime is downloading movies. He's like, I downloaded this VPN, I used the proto Gmail. Yeah. And then like Jeffrey Epstein, it's like, I'm going to fuck those kids. Send for my iPhone. Like, he's just emailing people.
And he's emailing Steve Bannon, and you think like, I think that fucking, if I'm not wrong, Eddie Hobbs is recently on Steve Bannon's show. Do you know what I mean? All these people, and then when I said, maybe we did, but then you got like John McGurk. I wasn't sure if that was Steve Bannon or Tucker Carlson. But then you have what's his name, John McGurk, when he wrote up that article going like, how much can we trust Virginia Giuffre really? You know? And then like, I was surprised that the right are kind of like, yeah, well, you know, once he fucks kids, he gets to work, you know, destroying woke and doing the stuff that I like, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't know, I guess I thought that they were, I didn't think they were principled, but I certainly thought that there would be a limit with like Jeffrey Epstein and clandestine pedophile rings. I thought that like, you know, like, I wonder if there's like anybody who's out there who's suicidal, where it's going, oh my God, it's Bannon too. This whole, you know what I mean? Like they knew Trump, you know, but
there was an interesting thing with, you know, Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yeah, yeah.
And they sort of make the point about her is that she's like, you know, with the QAnon stuff, there's a lot of people who use it.
Yeah.
Whereas like she really believes.
Yeah, yeah.
She's always really critical of the Republican Party, but she's never critical of Trump. And then she criticized Trump for the first time.
Yeah.
And that was like, she walked it back in the end, but I think she was the suicidal one. It was like,
yeah.
Trump is fucking the kids.
I don't understand. Yeah.
Like, but then he like called her a traitor, and she was like, I'm not a traitor, I apologize.
We also called her far left, which is very funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been some really good, and by good I mean horrifying, but we have to laugh clips of Trump. Okay, there's some reporter asking him about like Epstein or something, and then he says, "Shut up, piggy."
Yeah, I did see that.
Quiet, piggy. Yeah,
he's really rattled in a very old man sort of way.
And then the Khashoggi thing, did you see that? Where they had
where he's like, he was like, you have to realize that this was a very controversial figure.
Yeah. So maybe he deserved to be chopped up and put in a suitcase.
Yeah.
And then he's like, you're really disrespecting our guest. It's funny that he didn't demand that guy wear a suit, you know?
Yeah.
Do you remember how rude he was to Zelensky?
Yeah, if it was any other man wearing a dress, he'd be. How come
I thought we were against men wearing dresses.
Yeah.
This is woke DEI. I'm seeing too many brown faces on my TV, which of course is woke.
Yeah. My parents' dog is getting worse.
Oh yeah?
More vicious every day.
Mean.
Yeah.
But she loves me. She's very nice to me.
Yeah. It's because of the way you compliment her.
Yeah.
You always go like, what a nice white dog. A nice white dog. Clean.
White as snow. Yeah, pure dog. Not like those other mongrel. Did you ever see the movie White Dog?
No, I've never.
It's very good. I like it.
Is it like White Fang?
No, it's a woman who discovers this like dog, and she takes the dog in, but doesn't realize that it's been trained to be a white dog, which is a dog that is
psycho,
trained to hate black people, so that it attacks them on sight. And so she endeavors then to try and train this dog to not be a white dog anymore, and gets a trainer.
Yeah, she dyes his hair blue, I bet.
Yeah, look at this. And they'll be showing new episodes of like some Star Wars show and being like, this is really good actually. And the dog has to like it.
Now that the doctor's a woman in it, it's better.
Yeah. Now that Doctor Who is a black man, it's better.
Yeah. I saw a clip, I've probably sent it to you. There's one really like gone after Shudigawa.
Really?
Yeah, like really gone after him.
Oh, is that the Rest is Entertainment podcast, is it?
I don't know, but she was like, she was really singling him out for unknown reasons. I don't know, like, but she was like, all the other doctors understood that you had to be an ambassador.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And like, David Tennant was the best doctor. Matt Smith was the best doctor. Chris Eccleston. And then she was like, and he just didn't do any work. Yeah. She was just like, so close to me, like, he was lazy.
Yeah. I didn't think about it that way. I did watch that clip. That's from the Rest is Entertainment. It's like, I noticed as well that when she was talking about it, she skipped over the female doctor who also didn't do any press or anything. I think Jodie Whittaker probably did as much promo for the show as Ncuti Gatwa did. But also Ncuti Gatwa is somebody who is in like demand, like he's a big star at the moment.
Yeah.
And one thing that sorry. We should just talk about with the funny parts of it, not try to engage with it. Like, one thing she did say that I thought had some merit to it, like just weighing in on the. But yeah, no, I didn't think about that part of it where it's clearly coded that way. But anyhow.
But what did she say that was good?
Well, I do agree that it is a sort of ambassador role, but I'm also resentful of anybody who's like, what do you think of somebody who does the bare minimum? It's like, he only has to show up and film the fucking episodes. And if you want him to do some more that's like promo and shit, then pay him, okay? And then if he can't do the promo shit, then it's because he's busy, okay? Like, he's in demand. In which case, she pointed this out in the clip. She was like, then you shouldn't have hired him in the first place. You should know.
Yeah.
You should know that he's guaranteed to be there for all of these things you need him to do. And previously, I had thought, like, what an ingenious decision from Russell T Davies, the guy from Sex Education, one of the biggest shows on the planet. And then we're going to, for the streaming era of Doctor Who, we're partnering up with Disney, and we're going to get this like young, vibrant star to be like openly gay black doctor. Fantastic, okay? And then he's like barely ever there. And I was like, oh, it's such a shame that he was so busy. And it never occurred to me, it was like, actually, no, that's something you should factor in when you're hiring. You know what I mean? You wouldn't be like, because she pointed it out. She's like, technically now it is like an American franchise. It'd be like saying like, for Iron Man, we'll get Robert Downey Jr. And it's like, but he mightn't be free for every day. That's fine. We'll write around him. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, no, you need him to be there. Otherwise, it doesn't work. You know?
Doctor Who.
Yeah. Me and Enda recorded a new episode to be released on the 23rd of November of Wholistic, which might have to get a rebrand because, although, by the way, have you seen that there's a new show? They've got a spin-off show coming out and it's called The War Between the Land and the Sea.
Yeah, I think you were talking about that a while ago.
But it's like, it turns out there's a bunch of aliens that are living under the water and now they're coming up to like fight humanity and UNIT has to like stop them, but by going to like politics and stuff where they go into like, you know, so it's like he's the ambassador for the humans, they've selected him and like, can he stop this?
Can he negotiate with the aliens?
It's like, I don't know if I give a fuck. I don't care at all.
Yeah.
And here's how they like, Disney have also like, they've decided that actually we don't want any more Doctor Who. So apparently on the BBC, they're going to release like the 5 episodes of this like week to week in December. And then in February, Disney are just like, all right, and then we'll drop it, I guess. Just like, imagine the Americans going like, after it's screened over in England, we'll put it on our streaming service. It's like anybody who wants to see it will have seen it by that point. What is even the point? And it's clearly just like, that was a mistake the last guy made buying Doctor Who. I don't watch it. I don't give a shit about it. Just fucking, this deal's done. Deal's done. Bye-bye.
Who plays the ambassador?
Russell Tovey, who is like, do you know you've seen that show Years and Years, yeah?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, but I know that this happens in it, and I know it's a spoiler. But apparently, Russell Tovey is the guy who tries to make it over on a small boat to some other country and then drowns on the shore.
Okay, yeah.
So, and think about that. When you were seeing those little brown kids getting washed up, probably didn't think all that much. A white guy, though.
I think he was Brazilian. I know he's white. His Brazilian boyfriend survived.
Yeah. He had to be white, otherwise it wouldn't be commentary.
Yeah. The woman in a wheelchair gets a boyfriend.
Sorry, I thought you were talking about Doctor Who there, like as in probably that happens in it. But no, you're talking. This is Years and Years, is it?
Yeah.
Because they did. You love this actually. They introduced this character who's in a wheelchair, and then at one point, for some reason in the series finale, maybe you were around for this. I can't remember. But in the series finale for the original one, they put Lenny Rush in there, and so then because they had it disabled, they couldn't have two. So they got rid of the wheelchair lady. She just was not in the episode at all. And then Lenny Rush hasn't appeared in any subsequent episodes, but the wheelchair lady is back. And every single line of dialogue she has is always like, "Excuse me, do you think that because of my wheelchair?"
Yeah.
They just cut to her just being like, "Oi, ableist." You're kind of like,
yeah.
Do you want to give her something to do? Could she say anything? You know?
She can't do anything.
There's an amazing scene. There's an amazing scene in one of the episodes where we watched it in the cinema, me and Edna and Zainab, and we were like head in our hands because basically it's too complicated to get into, but everybody has forgotten who they were. Now they remember who they are. Okay, and so Ruth, who's in the wheelchair, is like, I have to get back into action. I was like, but how are you going to get into that tower? And she goes, don't worry. And she presses a button on her wheelchair, and then these little like jet turbines.
Like literally, like that's what R2D2 did. That's literally one of the Star Wars where it's like, how's R2D2 gonna get up the stairs? And then he presses the button and rockets come out. And then C-3PO was like, that's mad.
Like, you don't even get the satisfaction of seeing her fly in the wheelchair. They cut away to the lady and then they cut back and there are tire marks on the ground on fire like in Back to the Future.
And her legs were on fire. Her legs went in the way.
And then the other one that I really liked, what was it? Oh yeah. There's a bit where they were showing off that they finally installed a ramp on the TARDIS, which they never used because they never had any other disabled people after that. But basically, the TARDIS lands in front of Ruth, the wheelchair lady, and then she goes. I don't think actually her name is Ruth. I think that's the name of the actor. But anyway, I've forgotten her character name. But either way, like they go like, "Where's my?" He's like, "Oh, there's no ramp," and he goes, "There is," and then he gets down on his hands and knees, okay, and then he like flips out a ramp so that she can like go up it. And I was like, you know, the one thing about the Doctor that we know is that they're in like the run all the time, okay. Yeah. So like you're running away from the Daleks into the TARDIS. Oh, let me just get the ramp down. It's like a sci-fi show. Could he not have a button? Could it not even pre-install?
The other thing we know about him is that he's like really handy at making stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't imply he doesn't give a fuck. Like, if he actually thought about it for 1 or 2 seconds, he'd like do the thing where they press the button. Where he's like, I'll just do this when you need to get in.
And guess what? Like, she's not getting into the TARDIS because her wheelchair would not fit through those corridors. Because in the new TARDIS set that they have, like, they couldn't do anything with it, apparently. There's just like, have you seen it? You know, there's like a bunch of like what would you call them? What would you call
corridors?
Them? They're not even corridors. It's like a suspended bridge. It's like a bridge anyway. But basically, I was listening to a video with Rachel Talalay, who is one of the directors, and she talked about what it was like to direct on the TARDIS. And so she said she showed up on like, they were on the new set, and she was like, so we were on there and we stood on it, and then the boards on this bridge just started to like give a little bit. And so she's like, there is absolutely no way I'm taking a camera on here because it would just fall through, you know? And the other thing that they had to do is they had to put railings around it because you can't fall off. So there's all these like safety railings around these things. So the thing is, you can have the ramp coming down, but if memory serves, she doesn't wheel inside the thing because there's no way that wheelchair would fit on that. And even if there was, the bridge would give way in real life if she was to go on it, you know? If you have too many people
ever
on
get
it.
into the thing?
No, she doesn't get on the TARDIS. And then they never take down the ramp again. And there's nobody who's disabled except for like a deaf woman. But like, that doesn't fucking count.
Yeah. You don't need a ramp for that.
Anyway, I don't know why, but like, I had this image of Christy Burke, which was his name, the Dublin politician, and it's been open in front of me the whole time. Just, but it was the only second there that I registered it. And then I was like, it was like, how could I comment on that after we've been talking about something else for like 20 minutes? Look at this photo. I'm just going to send it to you.
That's the end of the free bit. Go to patreon.com/CelticLigers where in the second half, they talk about Ivan Yates blathering on pretending to not know why he's wrong. Gar thinks Zarah Sultana did nothing wrong in the continuing your party debacle. Irish Pokemon, UK immigration barbarity becomes our immigration barbarity, and they take it home talking about Orla Hegarty humiliating Seán Keyes on the Inside Politics podcast. A Paschalite thinker takes an L, but only amongst the many W's they've racked up.